Hey my friends, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a haul, which I don't do very often since I'm on a pretty low no buy, but I am in a wish list swap with my friend Becca, and I got quite a few items this time around, so I have enough to do, I think, almost a full face, so I thought that it would be fun to do that. I also have some other new to me products that I want to try as well. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be showing you the new products, chatting about them, and doing a first impressions with you all. So whoop whoop, that's what we do when da-na-na-na-na. And yeah, okay, I think that's all. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so first I'm actually going to prime my face with the Banana Bright Sun-Kissed Face Primer. I love this. I used it for like a week straight and I had noticeably gotten a really nice tan. And then I stopped using it because I also wanted to see how it faded. And it faded really nicely, not patchy or anything like that. Make sure to bring it down my neck. I will say just make sure you wash your hands afterward because otherwise it will stain. It will stain. I already experienced that, so because I didn't even think about it. So yeah. Also was just watching back my intro. Oh no, now my hands are too I don't have my towel over here. My hands are too slippery to open up my brow pot. Okay, there we go. Got it. You guys, I took today off work, so I just have a feeling this video is going to be a little nutty. But I'm using my honey glue pot to run some gel through my brows really quick. But yeah, I was listening back through my intro or whatever, and I was like, why do I always say my low no buy? That's not what it is. It's a low buy. I don't even know why. I don't know. I was like, oh my gosh, somebody slap me. Or yeah, because I always do that and I don't know why. I need to wash my spoolies. Or actually, I feel like I just need new spoolies. I don't really like the ones that I have anymore. I know it's pretty random, but I was just thinking about that. Yeah, and then I just push them down into my skin and let them set a little bit. I also realized the eyeshadow that I got and I want to use today isn't gonna match my shirt at all. So love that for me. I love that. Because it is. So Becca was, so everyone, so many people that I follow get PR from Gaja. I don't. And when everyone got this little bento stack, it's the peach Madeline, I was so jealous because it looks so beautiful. Like literally so beautiful. Like stunning. Let's watch it. Ooh. Oh, that top one is a little chunky. Interesting. But that is what it looks like. Really, really beautiful. Oh, man, I was gonna use this today, but it doesn't match my shirt at all. And I'm like one of those people where I like my makeup to match. You know what I mean? Otherwise it just like kind of like throws the whole vibe off. I don't know. I still think that because the other option, you would have thought I would have planned this ahead of time, but the other option is my Too Faced Pumpkin Spice because it's in my rotation, but it's not a new to me palette. But I also feel like these grungy tones will look super good. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. We're gonna use a Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette because I just feel like if I go in with something that I know is not gonna match my outfit, it's gonna put me like, it's gonna give me bad makeup vibes. Even if it like looks fine, because it won't match, it'll like ruin the vibe for me, if that makes sense. So that's what we're gonna do. Sorry guys, already off to a bit of a rocky start. But honestly, with everything going on in the world right now, I'm like a little bit unhinged, rightfully so. So yeah, if you guys don't know, I always keep my link tree in my description box. I'm just gonna go in and set with my Tati shade here. I always keep that in my description box, and in there is links to donate to abortion funds. There's also links in there to find women's marches near you. I suggest you check that out. If y'all aren't registered to vote, get registered, participate in the midterms in your areas, because things are not good right now if you have a uterus, and I feel like they're about to get worse if you're of any kind of minority group, whether that be LGBTQ plus or part of the POC. Yeah, it's getting bad, guys. And it's really, I'm not gonna talk about it too much, because I know and I understand this is an escape for some people, but I don't really feel like I would be holding true to myself and doing my due diligence if I didn't talk about the fact that I have links, ways you can participate, ways you can support in my bio. So please check that out. Also, while we're on this subject, subscribe. I recently just reached, sorry, I'm like, what color? I want to use this a la mode color. Recently just reached 900 subs, and thank you guys so much. I literally so freaking excited about that, because man, YouTube takes a lot of work, and I've been very consistent and busting it to try to reach that monetization status so that I can get paid for my content and my hard work. So thank you if you've subbed. If you haven't, go ahead and smash the button. Also, make sure your notifications are on. I typically post Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. That's been my schedule, and I think is going to remain my schedule. I really like that posting schedule, but sometimes I throw in a bonus video or something like that. So you'll want to be sure your notifications are on. Also, if you like this video, if you don't like this video, hit the thumbs up button. Whether you like it or you don't like it, just hit the thumbs up button. The engagement helps my channel because it helps other people find it, and it boosts the content. Similar to like on, IG and stuff. So just go ahead and hit it. Okay. I think, oh yes, that color looks beautiful. We made the right choice, you guys. We did. We had to make an executive decision, and it took me a while to make, but I think that we made the right one, personally. Let's see here. Now I want to go in on the outer corner, and I'm thinking we'll use this one. Maybe a mixture of this one and a mixture of this one. I'm kind of just going to go back and forth between them. Cocoa Drizzle and, oh, not Pumpkin Spice, which is what I just dipped into. Okay, so Cocoa Drizzle and Spice Baby. And I'm going to press that into my outer. Yeah, I think that color looks really, really nice. I have not used this in a while. And if you've caught some of my earlier videos, I'm doing palette stacks on my IG for the week. And I am essentially like rotating in products that I love and want to use. But I'm also rotating in products that I'm potentially going to declutter, that are on the chopping block. And I'm having people guess, which is really fun. Like which is which. But I'm not going to tell because I want to decide how I feel about it, and then y'all will see it in a declutter video. But it's really fun seeing people guess which ones that I might declutter and which ones I'm going to keep. So I don't know. If you're into that kind of thing, be sure to follow me over on IG. I post a lot of content over there, like a lot of content. That was where I first started in the beauty community, was IG. And I love the community over there. But until recently, it wasn't really something that, you know, you could get paid from or make a living from, which, you know, is fine. But as I got into it, like, I post a lot, I love it a lot, and I would love to be able to do this, you know, if not full-time, then part-time, you know? So I branched into YouTube, but I'm still very active over on IG. I do a lot of looks, reviews, thoughts, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, ooh, this is snatched. Yeah, I haven't used this palette since I think I did a 1 week 1 palette with it last fall or something. But yeah, I haven't used it in a while. She's pretty. I actually had this palette for like, this is one that I had for almost a year before I used it. It was one of those palettes. Man, I almost don't even know. I feel like maybe we will use a little bit of the Kaja box. So this shade right here had, like, I don't know if you can see it, just like a pretty flip. So I want to see maybe if we just put a little bit of that on my lid, it'll give us just a little bit of something, something. Like here in the center. Can you guys see that? I can see it in real life, but I don't know if you can. But it's really pretty just in the center there. It gives me a little sparkle and a little bit of brightness. And it has that, it kind of has a peachy shift, which is fun. And something unexpected in this color story. But yeah, I know that I have another one of these, so like I know that I do really enjoy these. The shimmers like can be built up to some insanity and they are stunning. So, but I'm just going in really lightly so they're versatile. Ooh, feeling myself. Isn't that Beyonce's song, I think, or something? But okay, I'm going to fill in my brows really quickly and then I'll be back. Okay, brows are filled in. I cleaned up the underneath. I also just let my dogs in. They promised they would be quiet. They promised, but if they're not, then you know how it goes. The next product that I got from Becca is the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. I've heard so many good things about this. I am so excited. I'll say it doesn't have like the claims on here or anything, but I have the shade Light, which I swatched and I think might be a smidge light for me right now, but I think will do really well for me in the winter. So I'm really just testing out the coverage and the wear time on it because it's a little light right now, so I probably won't really wear it, but it will work for me in the winter, so I want to test it out. But I've heard really good things. So far, it seems to be blending out really nicely. The coverage is nice. And I really didn't need a lot. Like, I still have some leftover on my hand, but yeah. Blended out really nice, looks really nice. And now I'm gonna go in with the foundation that I thought like looked a little too dark, so I might be very stark contrast today, which I'll see. The next product is the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation in the shade Bisque. So I've had this before and I loved it. I've emptied 2 of these in the past. It's like one of my favorite drugstore foundations. And I really kind of wanted to like circle back to that, see if I still loved it, how it worked, how it wore, because I was like, I would really love to have like another drugstore, like a drugstore foundation that I could recommend. So I added it to my wish list, and it's literally like a $5 foundation. But I added it because I was like, I would love to have another one to recommend. And I know I used to love it, but it's been like 2.5 years since I've had one. So I wanted to retry the formula to make sure it's still something that I enjoyed. Which, it's so weird how like deep it looked, and now it's like blending out like to match. Cause like look at it on my hand. Interesting. The shades are definitely a little bit tricky. I do remember that about it. Cause I always had like 2 or 3 shades because it was like a bit difficult to find my match. But anymore, I feel like it can be, I feel like that can be a big thing for any kind of drugstore foundation, because you can't swatch it in the store either. So it's like, you just gotta hope. And yeah, it's like $5, but like it's still $5, you know? Especially with groceries and gas right now. Geez, ow. Oh, everything is so expensive. Which we've already made like a plan, like to start, like we're gonna spend the next 2 months paying off everything on our credit cards, and then we're not gonna overpay on anything. We're gonna save it all, because we're really just kind of worried about financially what's gonna happen. So yeah, we're gonna try and start preparing. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, I'm kind of back into the fluffy brow mode. I loved my fluffy brows. I got a lot of like hate for them, but I really enjoy the way they look. So I'm back on my bullshit, and I'm fine with that. I feel like this looks really nice, honestly. Coverage is good. It's not like sticking to any patches or anything like that. I'll see how it wears, but so far, so good. I think that it looks good. Good, just like I recalled. So I was saying, I was pretty like, you know, but you never know. Sometimes like people change formulations and stuff like that, and you really just never know. So that's why I did that. I'm gonna take a product that's not new to me, but I want to add glow. So I'm gonna take my Fido Spectral Shine in Dew of Dawn, and I'm gonna just add that. It's getting kind of hard to get product out because it's like just around the rims. But Steph and I had talked to the owners about like if it would be a good idea to repress it. If so, like how should we go about that? And they recommended against repressing it just because of how the formulation is. So I've really just been trying my best, and I'm going in with like, I went in with this brush, and I'm going in with this brush to try and just like get the product. But yeah, this should be, honestly, I think it'll probably be empty in July, which is really exciting. But yeah, because it looks beat. I did get a new blush from Becca as well, which is really exciting. So this is a product she just tossed in because she's so sweet. That's literally, it wasn't on my wish list, but it looks really great. It is the LA Girl Soft Matte Cream Blush in the shade Grace. I swatched this the other day and I was like, oh my God. So I'm freaking pumped. And I'm gonna just go for it. Okay, that shade's stunning. And then I'm just gonna blend it out. The shade doesn't really match my eyeshadow, but that's okay. I think it'll look a little different once I'm like bronzed as well. I definitely went in with a little bit of a heavy hand. There we go. Just using that Fido brush that I have my spectral shine on and going over it, because sometimes that helps like really diffuse a blush. Use a little less on this side. I could have, of course, like put it on my hand and stuff first. I just don't like doing that because, I don't know, I feel like it kind of wastes the product. And it's just like messier. So, oh, I feel like this has a scent. It smells like, I don't know, kind of like watermelon-y. I didn't notice that before when I had swatched it. So that's wild. I am gonna put a little bit on my nose. Do you guys have like one side that you, my blush never looks like even. It's like one side is always more lifted than the other, like loud. Yeah, that was, I mean, honestly, it blended out really easily. And I didn't, like, it blended out easily. I definitely could have went in with less product to lighten it up. But, oh well. Next up is the Maybelline City Bronzer. And this is in the shade 200, which is the medium one. They only have 3 shades. This was actually sent to me in friend mail because I'd had it on my wish list. And I had a friend that it wasn't her shade. So she was like, I'll send it to you. And I was like, sure. So, yeah, really, really excited about that. So I'm just going to take a little bit of, oh, she's pigmented. Okay. So I'm going to spread it up here a little bit. I know this is my friend Katie's favorite bronzer. So I was like even more excited to try it when she said that. She's like, that's my favorite. And I was like, oh my God. Because, you know, when you're like, try something that someone else just like loves, it's like even more exciting. Because you wanna love it and feel the goodness. Maybe that doesn't make sense, but it makes sense in my head, so. Oh, also, update, I put it in the description box of my last video, but I don't really know. Do people even read description boxes? But the Rose and Bend foundation brush, they did allow me to return that. So thank goodness, because it was expensive and it just wasn't working the way that I wanted it to. So I was able to email them and return it. I still love this one, which is the C40, if you're wondering. I really just think it does a great job. I love the shape. I did use this for cream bronzer the other day as well, and it worked really good too. So I've really been having a great experience with it. I did get something, man, I have so many of these brushes out. I'm like, which is dirty, which is clean? I need to wash my brushes, if I'm being honest. But I did wash my brushes, but apparently I didn't wash all the ones I needed to wash. Like, you know, when that happens, that kind of situation, that's what's going on over here. I'm going to use my Kosas Duo, and I'm going to take the highlighter shade over there on the high points. I'm still being like really mindful to use this while I still can, because I don't think that I have a lot of time left with it, and I really just love it. I think the product, the highlighting portion is like really good, so I enjoy it. Next up, I got the Dior powder in our wishlist swap as well. This is the Backstage Face and Body Powder, No Powder, in the shade 1 in Neutral. And I'm just gonna tap out my under eyes. Well, there really wasn't a lot to tap out there. They were looking pretty good. And then I'm gonna go in and just apply a little bit of this powder. And I don't normally like powder my under eyes. If anything, I powder like my whole face or my T-zone or whatever. Oop, we gotta lose hair. So I am gonna just powder a little bit on my chin as well. And where I might get oily, which is like right over here in my T-zone. That kind of situation. The shade does look like it's a fine shade for me. I was worried it would be too dark, but I think that it looks fine. And obviously, like, I think it looks good right now, but I'll update the description and I'll keep testing it because I know a few people over on IG were curious. But I'm gonna go ahead, pop off, finish the eyebrows, and then I'll be back. Okay, so here's the finished look. I'm not gonna lie, I'm obsessed. I really like the way that this came out. On my lips, I just used a combination of a Kylie lip liner that's a little bit more on the brown side, and then I used my Becca lipstick in the shade Dune. I love the combination that this creates, the way it looks. I think it is so stinking gorgeous. My other first impressions on products, I don't know, this top one swatched pretty chunky, which was interesting. The formula on the top here is not the same formulation of the middle one. I do think that the middle formula is very pretty. I really like the way that looks on my lid. So far, the NYX concealer is wearing beautifully. I think that it looks great. And this is a super affordable option. I don't know if I showed you guys, but it has a pump on the top because I know a lot of people prefer that for sanitation reasons. I prefer doe foot, I don't care. But it's wearing really beautifully, and typically if my concealer is going to crease, it would have already done so by now, but I will update the description box. But so far it's wearing great. Just as a reminder, I do have the shade Light. And then for the e.l.f. foundation, I do have the shade Bisque, just as a reminder. I think my skin looks beautiful so far. It's wearing really greatly. I don't see any kind of oxidation going on. I think that this shade, it looks really nice. I perhaps could be a little darker, but it matches my neck right now, so I don't know. You can't win. I'm like a color here, a color here, a color here, a color here. Yeah. But formulation wise, this is looking really nice. I will definitely keep you updated on how it wears throughout the day. This bronzer is a beautiful tone. I definitely think that it's one I would go in with a light hand and build. It does seem to be very pigmented, or tap your brush off, whichever you prefer. But I think that the tone overall looks really gorgeous, so I will keep trying this one out. And then the Soft Matte Cream Blush, I thought it blended out beautifully. I think the tone's really nice. And even though it appeared at first I went in super heavy-handed, like, I think it looks good. Like, it toned itself down. This is an affordable product. This is almost just like a drugstore haul for the most part. Well, except for, yeah, like 2 things. But yeah, I think that this, I don't know, I want to see what other shade, not that I need any more cream blush, but I want to see what other shades there are, because maybe I'll add some more to my wish list. And then for the Dior powder, first impressions are that it does look nice. It sunk into my skin, so I don't see the powder like setting on top of the areas it was applied, or clinging or looking patchy or anything like that. But I think that it looks beautiful. It's very rare for me to have a video of new stuff and be like, I'm really enjoying it all. But I really am. So yeah, thank you, Becca, and thank you to my friend in the community that sent me this bronzer. Really appreciate everything. The wishlist swap is so fun. I love doing that with her. It's a fun way to get like new makeup and give makeup and stuff. But yeah, I think that is all for me today. If you guys enjoy this video, don't forget to thumbs it up. And yeah, I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye.